If you're wondering what kind of cookies to make this Valentine's Day, here's how I made these cute cutout sugar cookies 3 different ways. I turned them into conversation hearts, frogs, and bears using all the same ingredients. First, you want to mix together butter and sugar until light and creamy, then add in your egg and flavoring. I used vanilla paste, but you can use vanilla extract or other flavors like almond extract. Once that's smooth, then stir in your dry ingredients until there are no more dry spots. Now here's a trick on rolling out cookie dough, which I learned when I worked at a few different bakeries. You basically want to sandwich all of your cookie dough in between wax or parchment paper, then roll the cookie dough to the thickness you're aiming for. For this recipe, I'm going for a 1/4 inch thick. Then you'll want to freeze this entire stack until solid like this. At the bakeries I worked at, we froze stacks and stacks and stacks of cookie dough and just pulled them from the freezer whenever we needed more cookies to cut out and bake. When you're ready to cut them out, gently peel off one side of the paper, then lightly stick it back on. Flip the entire thing over and completely remove that side. And now you can use a floured cookie cutter to cut out your shapes. Working with cold dough is much easier, so if you feel like your dough is getting soft, just pop it back into the freezer. And then to minimize any spreading in the oven, I like to freeze my cutout cookies for at least 10 minutes right before baking. While the cookies are baking and cooling, you can work on the icing. I mixed meringue powder with water and almond extract until frothy, then gradually added in my powdered sugar. Once it was thick, I split and dyed the icing using gel food coloring. And finally, time to decorate. This part is definitely my favorite because of how satisfying it is, plus knowing I'm almost done with the entire process. I piped on some pretty thick borders here, and I actually recommend doing them much thinner, but once I had all my icing borders, I flooded the cookies with my icing. Once the tops are dry, you can go in with your other decorations. And this is the fun part because you can write whatever you want. You can be sweet, funny, or completely unhinged. It's up to you. To write them, you can either use royal icing or edible food markers like I am here. But if you're using edible food markers, I highly recommend letting the tops dry for a few hours. If you don't let them dry, you might accidentally puncture the icing using the felt tip. These cookies were a labor of love. They came out so cute, delicious, and definitely worth it.